Hey YouTube, it's Red Raider Trucker here. Yep, that's right, Red Raider. And want to talk to you today about team driving as an owner-operator or a lease-to-own operator with Schneider. And I am going to be putting together, as we go along here, some videos of my journey. My partner and I have recently signed up to do the Schneider Choice owner-operator program, and we're going to do a team operation, and we're going to give it a shot and see how it goes. There's not been a lot of information, not a lot of recent information posted on YouTube about how the team side of the Schneider Choice program has worked out for owner-operators, and specifically using a SFI or Schneider Finance truck, which is what we are doing. So today is Wednesday, the November the 21st, 2018, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope everybody's being able to be home for the holiday to enjoy that time with their family. But I want to give you just a brief rundown of what's happened so far. We have not started yet. He and I will leave out Saturday and drive to Phoenix, Arizona to the Schneider OC Operations Center, and there where the Schneider Finance is, to start orientation next week and to pick up our truck. If you've done much research about SFI and the Schneider Choice program, you usually have to go to one of three places to do your orientation, either Green Bay, Wisconsin, Charlotte, North Carolina, or Phoenix, Arizona. So as it turns out, the truck that we're going to end up leasing it's a 2019 Cascadia. I'll talk about that here in just a second. Is at the yard in Phoenix. So how the program works, for those that don't know, once you've been approved to lease owners or become an owner-operator, once you've gone through all the application process and you've been approved for a truck, or if you're bringing your own truck on, you have to go to one of these operation centers to go through their basic orientation. And I'm not going to get into what all that is, because honestly I don't know every bit and piece of it. I'll be updating that as we go along next week. But in terms of getting out there, what does Schneider do for you in terms of helping you with your transportation? So of course, if you're bringing your own truck on board, you're leasing on a truck you already have, you're gonna bobtail that truck to that particular location. For those that are picking up a Schneider Finance truck, which is going to be the majority of the people doing this program, then Schneider will pay for a rental vehicle for you to drive out there. You have to pay for the fuel yourself, or they will pay a little bit of money towards an airline ticket, and it depends on your mileage. I forget what the number is. I think they pay $75 per 500 miles for an airline ticket. And from where we're coming from in Texas to go to Phoenix, it's almost 1,300 mile drive for us, so it would sure be nice to fly out there. But the only problem with flying, particularly if you're taking a Schneider Finance truck, is you've got to get all your gear, all your luggage, any supplies that you're going to want to have for your truck, your bedding, pillows, things like that. Unless these are things you're going to buy once you get to Arizona or wherever you're going, you've got to bring all that stuff with you. So it's hard to do that and fly without paying a lot of money to check bags, and not trying to do that. So me and my partner are going to be picking up our rental car Friday after Thanksgiving, and we're going to roll out Saturday morning, get into Phoenix probably late Sunday afternoon, the 25th. And then we are going to be picked up by the Schneider school bus. If anybody's watched their videos, they've got the pumpkin orange school buses. They'll pick everybody up from the hotel there and take to the operation center, and it's pretty early. I think we've got to be there at 6 a.m. I think Monday morning. So that's the process. Once you go through the orientation, I think it's 4 days. On that fourth day, I don't believe it's a full day, you'll then be told where you're going to be picking up your trailer from. And I don't know where our trailer will be, and then we'll start running loads. So I'm hoping it's not a long ways from Phoenix. Hopefully there's a trailer in Phoenix and we can go ahead and get on a load. I've been told, talking to some other Schneider drivers or some Schneider choice drivers, that don't be surprised if you have to bobtail 300, 400, 500 miles somewhere to get your trailer for your first load. Now they will pay you some money for bobtailing out there to pick up the trailer. I think it's like $1 a mile, but don't quote me on that because I'm not for sure on that. So other things that you may have questions about, how much is the truck costing? It's going to vary on the truck that you choose. It's also going to vary if you're going to be a solo or team operation. Obviously, running a team operation, you're going to run more miles per week, so that impacts what you're going to pay on the lease payment on the truck. And it is more, of course. Of course, you're dividing that between two people's income. So, from what I can see, I think you can make about the same money running solo or running team. It really just depends on you and how you work the load board, and that remains to be seen how that goes. I've been able to find very little information about people talking about their experience being a team operation for Schneider in terms of what the pay average has been and what the load board has looked like, if they had any problems doing the quick turnarounds, because you can deliver so much faster as a team. So I just don't know. So we're going to see that. I hope it works out good. We it would be nice to stay with a big carrier like Schneider that's got a very streamlined and operation that's been around for a while. That's got a system in place that's repeatable and understandable. But the nice thing about it is that if you get a Schneider finance truck and you get out there after a month or 2 or 3 or whatever, and you see that you're just not happy with the loads that you're getting or what's available to you, you can take that truck with you and go to another carrier as an owner operator. Now there's some money involved in that. They're going to charge you a $300 carrier transfer fee. Of course, you'll have to turn your base plates in and get new ones from your new carrier, but there are ways to do that. So we'll see. I know there are Schneider finance trucks out there that have took their trucks and gone to other companies, and I'm sure there's some that are doing well and some that are not. My experience in being in logistics for the years that I've been here is that, particularly when you're an owner operator or you have your own authority, either one, and you're in control of what you decide to take load wise and when you decide to work and when you decide to take your home time, all of those things are the variables that affect how much money you can make running on the open road. So no two experiences and no two drivers are going to run the same. They're going to have lanes that they're going to run differently. They're going to have needs at home that are going to be different. So, take all of the information I think that you see out there on YouTube with a grain of salt. It's good to watch multiple videos from different people to get different points of view. And that's what my partner and I did when we were deciding on whether or not the Schneider program was going to be something for us. We watched a lot of videos, I actually talked to a few drivers at some truck stops that were doing it. And I got opinions on both sides of the fence that some were really happy, some were not as happy. I can say that I didn't talk to anybody that was just really down on the program. There's a guy out there that left them, and after he left, talked about the load board possibly being fixed, and a company that big, I'm sure that they have a way and an algorithm that they look at after they see what type of running you do yourself that's going to tailor that load board that may look different to you as a driver, owner, operator versus the guy sitting in the parking lot next to you that may run differently. That's, in my opinion, that's just a company trying to make sure that its assets are used the most efficient way possible. I don't know for sure that happens, but I'm sure that they do look at each individual truck and what its history's been and what their tendencies have been in terms of what they're able to offer and what they're able to actually show to them on the load board. You got to remember, they own the load board, they own the freight, and they can certainly dial in that load board to what they want you to see. So don't go in naively thinking that it's just like going to the DAT board and that everything's just going to be completely open and transparent. It's not going to be. But at the same time, that does not mean that they're trying to screw you out of money. That does not mean that they're trying to manipulate you. This means they have a business model that's worked for them, and your job as an owner operator is to understand how the board's working and find those lanes and find that time off that's going to work to make you the most money. The biggest challenge to me that I think anybody has with an SFI truck is the weekly lease payment is really expensive. It's an expensive way to have a truck. But in a lot of things, you have to weigh out the good and the bad. If you bring on a 10-year-old truck that's got 700,000 or 800,000 miles, yeah, that payment, it may be paid for, or that monthly payment on that truck may be, a whole lot less than the $1,000 to $1,600 a month you may pay for a Schneider finance truck. But the Schneider finance truck, most likely that you're going to get is going to be still under factory warranty. It's going to be relatively new, if not brand new. So you're going to have the opportunity to be in a newer, more efficient piece of equipment that if there is problems, you've got warranty to take care of you. You've got a maintenance account that you're going to contribute to that's going to help you with PMs and basic things that are going to come up, like tires and things like that. So you have a way of managing your expenses, and you know what your fixed cost of operation will be. I can tell you, if being an owner and operator and having my own authority and running older trucks, is you really never knew from month to month what your true expense of running that truck was going to be. Because you may get lucky for a month or two and not have any maintenance problems, and then you may have a catastrophic engine failure, a turbo or rear end go out that can really, if you're not running your business the right way and don't have a rainy day fund set aside already, it can make your operation cease to exist. And honestly, I was caught with my pants down several times, just rolling the dice, getting started, not having a lot of money set back, hoping that the truck would last and run for several months before we had any problems. And I had times where the first 30 days we owned the truck, we had major issues, and we were starting off behind the 8 ball. So when you factor that stuff in, think about that when you're comparing what it's going to cost you to do one of these SFI trucks. Yes, it's expensive, but also having downtime and having unpredictable maintenance expenses bite you in the butt are also expensive. So there's a give and take to all that. So anyway, a lot of rambling here. Appreciate everybody watching. I will be posting some videos coming up this next week about orientation and how that went. And then when we get on the road, we'll start talking about the load board and our experience with it. So I hope you'll stay tuned to my channel. And any comments, anything you'd like to ask a question about, please post it down there. I'll be watching and try to do my best to respond. By no means am I an expert on any of this. Just wanted to kind of share our experience with Schneider with you guys. And anyway, I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. And if you're out there on the road, be safe. And we'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.